The answer to most of your problems is vibrating inside you right at this very moment, but probably nobody has ever explained this to you properly. The truth is that you're emitting an energetic frequency right now, and this frequency absolutely determines everything that happens in your life. Every thought, every emotion, every word that comes out of your mouth vibrates at a specific frequency, and the universe is responding to it all the time, without pause, without exception. Itzhak Bentov, a brilliant scientist who united quantum physics with mysticism, dedicated decades to unraveling something that most people completely ignore. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are an energy transmitter creating your reality through the vibration you emanate. And here's the part nobody tells you. You're probably vibrating at the lowest possible frequencies without even realizing it, attracting exactly what you don't want. The pain of living below your potential, of feeling that life happens to you instead of for you, of watching opportunities pass by while others prosper. This pain has a root cause: low vibration. Fear, anxiety, anger, resentment, all these emotions you carry are emitting a signal to the universe saying, "Send me more of this." And the universe, obedient to the law of resonance, delivers precisely what you're asking for through your frequency. But there's a technique, a specific triad discovered through years of research that can transform your vibration in a matter of minutes. It's not superficial positive thinking. It's not empty self-help. It's a scientific and spiritual method that literally alters the electromagnetic field you emit, and this alteration changes everything. Your health, your relationships, your finances, your opportunities, everything responds to your vibration. In this video, you'll discover exactly how to elevate your frequency using the 3 steps of the technique that can completely reorganize your reality. You'll understand the precise scale that measures where you're vibrating now and how to consciously rise. You'll learn about the law of resonance and why you keep attracting the same repetitive situations. And most importantly, you'll take total responsibility for your vibration, which means taking total power over your life. Stay until the end, because every minute of this content could be the watershed between remaining stuck or finally awakening to your true potential. Itzhak Bentov dedicated decades of his life investigating something that most people never pause to consider: the invisible vibration that permeates every atom, every thought, every emotion within us. This scientist and inventor, who brilliantly united quantum physics with mysticism, realized that every human being functions as a transmitter and receiver of energetic frequencies. Personal vibration isn't something fixed, static, or immutable. It moves, transforms, rises and falls as we feed our mind with certain thoughts and our heart with certain emotions. Bentov saw the human body as a living, pulsating instrument capable of tuning into different stations of reality simply by adjusting its internal frequency. The great revelation came from observing a universal pattern. Everything that exists in this universe vibrates. From the tiniest subatomic particle to the most distant galaxies, everything is in constant motion, oscillating at specific frequencies. Our thoughts vibrate, our feelings vibrate, our words vibrate. Bentov realized that human beings live immersed in this ocean of vibrations, but few develop the necessary awareness to perceive that they are constantly emitting energetic signals to the universe. These signals function as magnets, attracting back experiences, people, and circumstances that resonate at the same frequency range. What makes this truly revolutionary is understanding that this vibration isn't something that happens to us, but something we actively create. Bentov observed that people who live in dense mental and emotional states like chronic worry, deep resentment, or constant fear emit a frequency that attracts more situations generating these same emotions. The universe doesn't judge whether the vibration is positive or negative. It simply responds to what's being transmitted. It's like tuning a radio station. If you're on the anxiety frequency, you'll receive more content that feeds anxiety. If you tune into the frequency of inner peace, the universe conspires to bring more peaceful experiences. Bentov didn't speak of this as abstract philosophy or superficial positive thinking. He brought a deep scientific understanding of how human consciousness interacts with the quantum field of reality. Every cell in our body vibrates, every organ has its own vibrational signature, and the heart emits an electromagnetic field that can be measured at meters away. Our emotional state directly alters this emission. Fear contracts, love expands. Anger creates turbulence, gratitude generates coherence. Bentov spent years studying meditators and noticed that during elevated states of consciousness, the patterns of brain waves, heart rhythms, and even breathing entered into harmonious synchronicity, creating an extraordinarily powerful vibration. The transformation of reality begins with this fundamental understanding. We are active co-creators, not passive victims. Bentov taught that elevating vibration isn't a spiritual luxury for spare moments, but the most practical and powerful tool for completely transforming life experience. People who understand this stop blaming external circumstances and begin to consciously work on their internal frequency. They know that the external world is a direct reflection of the internal vibrational state. Modifying vibration is like changing the lens through which you see and experience life, and consequently, the life you attract and manifest also changes radically. Bentov observed that most of humanity lives on vibrational autopilot, mechanically reacting to external stimuli without realizing they possess the power to choose their energetic response. Someone says something offensive, and immediately the vibration plummets to anger. Bad news arrives, and instantly the person plunges into worry. This reactive mode keeps people imprisoned in repetitive cycles of negative experiences. But the secret Bentov discovered is that there's a space between stimulus and response, and in that space resides our power of vibrational choice. Developing this awareness is the first step to leaving the wheel of automatic suffering and entering the conscious creation of one's own reality. The law of resonance functions as an invisible force governing every energetic interaction in the universe. Bentov explained that two tuning forks tuned to the same frequency perfectly demonstrate this principle. Strike one and the other will begin to vibrate in response, even without physical contact. This phenomenon happens constantly in human life, but most people have never developed eyes to see this dynamic in action. Energetic resonance determines who you attract, which opportunities appear on your path, and even which thoughts can take hold in your mind. Bentov observed that people stuck in low frequencies like fear, deep anger, or chronic anxiety end up magnetizing situations that reinforce exactly these states. Someone who vibrates in fear attracts threatening circumstances, not because the universe is cruel, but because resonance functions as a perfect energetic mirror. The emitted frequency creates a magnetic field around the person, and this field can only attract elements that vibrate in the same range. It's pure physics applied to human experience. The universe doesn't differentiate between what you desire and what you fear. It only responds to the strongest vibrational signal you're emitting. Bentov spent years documenting how this law operates in practice. People who carry deep resentment frequently encounter more situations to resent. Those who live in a state of mental scarcity end up experiencing material lack. It's not coincidence, it's resonance. The energetic field of scarcity vibrates at a specific frequency that repels abundance and attracts more experiences of limitation. Bentov discovered that the universe is absolutely neutral and impartial. It simply delivers more of what you're vibrating, regardless of whether this is good or bad for you. But the other side of this equation is equally powerful and transformative. Vibrating at elevated frequencies like genuine love, spontaneous joy, and deep gratitude generates a completely different magnetic field. This field attracts prosperity, harmony, and synchronicities that seem like miracles but are just the law of resonance operating at high frequency. Bentov noticed that people who systematically cultivate these internal states begin to experience a life where doors open, resources appear, and solutions emerge in unexpected ways. Gratitude deserves special attention in this context. Bentov identified that gratitude vibrates at one of the highest frequencies accessible to human beings. Feeling genuine gratitude creates a resonance that the universe interprets as more of this, please. That's why grateful people tend to have more and more reasons to be grateful. They've entered an ascending cycle of positive resonance. Love operates in the same dynamic, but at an even higher octave. Vibrating in pure love, not just romantic but universal love for life, creates a frequency so powerful that it literally transforms the matter around it. Bentov emphasized that understanding the law of resonance brings profound responsibility. You can no longer blame others or circumstances for what appears in your life. If you're vibrating low, you'll attract low experiences. This understanding hurts at first because it destroys all excuses, but it completely liberates because it puts the power of change entirely in your hand. Modifying your internal vibration is the master key to transforming everything that happens externally, and this realization opens the doors to an even deeper capacity. Bentov discovered that people with elevated vibration develop something extraordinary, a kind of natural energetic shielding. This personal magnetism functions as an invisible shield that protects internal energy from negative external influences. It's not a vague mystical protection, but a measurable phenomenon through the electromagnetic field these people emit. The energetic field of someone who maintains their frequency high becomes so coherent and powerful that lower vibrations simply cannot penetrate or destabilize their internal state. This magnetism operates in two simultaneous directions. First, it repels dense and heavy energies that could contaminate the person's vibrational field. Someone with this active shielding can enter environments charged with negativity, coexist with toxic people, or face challenging situations without absorbing the low frequency around them. Bentov compared this to a diver who uses protective gear to explore deep waters without getting wet. Elevated vibration creates a protective layer that maintains energetic integrity intact, even amid external chaos. The second direction of this magnetism is even more fascinating. People who vibrate high radiate a frequency that attracts other people, opportunities, and situations that resonate at this same elevated range. Bentov observed that individuals with developed personal magnetism seem to have extraordinary luck, but it's not luck. It's the law of resonance working in their favor. They attract the right mentors at the right time, find creative solutions to complex problems, and experience frequent synchronicities. The universe conspires in favor of those who vibrate high because elevated frequency creates an irresistible magnetic field for positive manifestations. Bentov taught that developing this magnetism doesn't happen by accident. It requires conscious discipline to maintain elevated vibration even in the face of provocations, challenges, and situations that would naturally pull frequency downward. Most people lose their energetic shielding because they don't guard their internal state. Someone offends them and they immediately react vibrating anger. A difficult situation arises and they plunge into despair. Every time this happens, the shielding weakens and personal magnetism diminishes. Vibration becomes at the mercy of external circumstances. But those who consciously train this ability develop impressive vibrational stability. Bentov noticed that spiritual masters and highly accomplished people maintain their frequency high regardless of what happens around them. They learned that preserving elevated vibration is more important than reacting to external provocations. This constant choice to not let anything external hijack their internal frequency creates increasingly powerful magnetic force. Over time, the shielding becomes so strong that these people literally transform environments just by their presence. Personal magnetism also attracts material resources, healthy relationships, and abundance in all forms. Bentov explained that prosperity isn't the result of brute force or external manipulation, but of an internal vibration that resonates with the frequency of abundance. Magnetically powerful people don't need to desperately chase opportunities because opportunities come to them. The elevated frequency they emit functions as a beacon that signals to the universe. This person is ready to receive good things. And the universe, obeying the law of resonance, delivers exactly that. Bentov discovered that there are specific emotional states that strengthen or weaken this magnetism, and he dedicated years to mapping these frequencies on a precise scale that revealed something surprising about the nature of human consciousness. A revolutionary numerical scale was developed to measure the vibration of human emotional state. This scale goes from 1 to 1,000 and maps with surgical precision where each emotion positions itself in the vibrational spectrum. What makes this transformative is realizing that our entire life can be explained by the number at which we predominantly vibrate. Below 200, the person lives in states that completely block life's expansion. Above this critical point, they enter territories where conscious creation becomes possible. At the base of the scale, between 20 and 30, is shame. This frequency vibrates so low that people trapped in it often think about giving up on life itself. Shame contracts all vital energy, closes possibilities, and creates a sense of unworthiness so deep that it blocks any movement toward improvement. Just above, between 30 and 50, lives guilt. People in this range carry an emotional weight that keeps them stuck in the past, unable to forgive themselves and perpetually punishing their own actions. Guilt drains vital energy and keeps the person in repetitive cycles of self-sabotage. Fear vibrates between 100 and 125 on the scale. Here people live in a state of constant alert, always expecting something bad to happen. Fear paralyzes, prevents action, and keeps life small and controlled. Many people spend entire decades vibrating at this frequency, building walls around themselves and calling it security. Desire vibrates at 125, anger at 150, pride at 175. All these states are still below the critical point of 200, which means they drain more energy than they generate and keep the person trapped in destructive patterns. The turning point happens at 200, where courage emerges. This is the first truly constructive frequency on the scale. People who reach this level begin to face life head-on, take responsibility, and take initiative. Courage opens doors that fear kept locked. Above it comes neutrality at 250, where the person develops flexibility and detachment from dramas. Then arises willingness at 310, followed by acceptance at 350. Each vibrational leap brings a real expansion of possibilities and a completely different life. Unconditional love vibrates at 500, a radically higher frequency that represents only 0.4% of the world's population. Here life becomes about giving instead of receiving, about serving instead of controlling. People at this vibration experience a reality where miracles and synchronicities are common occurrences. Above love comes joy at 540, peace at 600, and finally enlightenment above 700. These states represent levels of consciousness so elevated that they completely transform the experience of human existence. What this scale reveals is both disturbing and liberating. Most people live their entire lives below 200, vibrating in fear, anger, desire, or pride. They never even reach the point where life truly begins to expand. But the scale also shows that rising is possible. Nobody is permanently stuck at any frequency. Vibration can change, and this change can happen in a matter of moments through specific practices that radically alter internal state and, consequently, the entire external reality. The practical technique taught to elevate vibration is structured in 3 fundamental steps that, applied in sequence, create immediate vibrational transformation. These 3 movements aren't abstract theory, but concrete tools that anyone can use at the exact moment they notice their frequency dropping. The first stage consists of bringing awareness completely to the present moment, leaving the prison of repetitive thoughts and anchoring attention in the physical body and breath. The human mind spends most of its time wandering between past and future. It relives situations that already happened, ruminating grudges and regrets, or projects future scenarios loaded with worry and anxiety. This mental pattern keeps vibration chronically low because it takes the person away from the only place where real power exists, the now. Bringing awareness to the present means interrupting this automatic flow of thoughts and redirecting all attention to the physical sensations of the body in this exact moment. Feeling the feet touching the ground, perceiving the chest rising and falling with breath, noticing the temperature of air entering through the nostrils. This anchoring in the present immediately dissolves anxiety, because anxiety only exists in future projection. It deactivates mental rumination because rumination lives in the past. The simple act of bringing full awareness to the body and breath creates an internal space where vibration can begin to rise. Breath deserves special attention because it's the bridge between conscious and unconscious, between mind and body. Breathing consciously, deeply, and rhythmically reorganizes the entire nervous system, calming the stress response and allowing the body to enter a state of internal coherence. The second step of the triad is cultivating genuine gratitude. Gratitude isn't simply thinking about things you should be grateful for. It's feeling in the body the elevated emotion that arises when recognizing the blessings present in life. Gratitude vibrates at one of the highest frequencies accessible to human beings because it completely inverts mental perspective. Instead of focusing on what's missing, what's wrong, or what could be better, gratitude illuminates what's already working, what's already been received, what's already abundant. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean denying real problems or pretending challenges don't exist. It means consciously choosing to direct attention to aspects of life that generate true appreciation. It can be gratitude for the body that functions, for the ability to breathe, for loved ones, for a roof overhead, for available food. The size of the blessing doesn't matter. What matters is the authenticity of the feeling. False, mechanical, or forced gratitude doesn't elevate vibration. Real gratitude, deeply felt in the heart, creates a vibrational wave so powerful that it literally reorganizes the energetic field around the person. The third movement of the triad involves consciously choosing desired vibration through intentional affirmations. After anchoring in the present and activating gratitude, the person declares internally or aloud which frequency they choose to emanate. Affirmations like, "I choose to vibrate in love," "I am light," "I radiate peace" aren't self-deception or superficial positive thinking. They're energetic commands that direct consciousness to embody that specific frequency. The power of these affirmations comes from the conscious intention behind them. It's useless to repeat words mechanically while the mind doubts or resists. The affirmation needs to be accompanied by a real decision, an internal commitment to vibrate at that frequency regardless of external circumstances. It's a choice of vibrational identity. The person is declaring to the universe and to themselves, "This is the frequency I choose to emanate now," and this conscious choice programs the entire body-mind-spirit system to align with that vibration. These three steps together create a vibrational shift that can be felt physically. The body relaxes, the mind calms, the heart opens. Frequency rises and, rising, immediately transforms the perception of reality. Problems that seemed insurmountable begin to seem manageable. People who irritated become neutral. Difficult situations reveal previously invisible possibilities. But this technique needs to be understood within a larger context that reveals the true responsibility each person carries for their own life experience. The deepest and most transformative message about vibration is that it's never accidental, never imposed, and never anyone's responsibility but the person themselves. Every human being carries within themselves the absolute power to consciously choose which frequency they will emanate to the universe. This choice doesn't depend on external circumstances, doesn't depend on other people, and doesn't depend on luck or destiny. Vibration is an internal decision renewed at every moment, and assuming this total responsibility completely frees the person from all victimization. Most people live believing that their vibration is the result of things happening around them. Someone treats them badly and they vibrate anger. They lose money and vibrate fear. They get something good and vibrate temporary joy. This way of living hands over all power to the external world, transforming the person into a leaf in the wind, rising and falling as circumstances change. But this is a devastating illusion. Nobody has the power to define your vibration except yourself. People can do or say anything, situations can be challenging or favorable, but the choice of how to vibrate in the face of it always remains yours. Taking total responsibility for your own vibration hurts at first because it eliminates all comfortable excuses. You can no longer blame the boss, the partner, the economy, the government, or the family for the low frequency you emanate. This realization destroys the victim narrative that so many people use to justify their unhappiness. But after the initial pain comes extraordinary freedom. If you're responsible for your vibration, then you have the power to change it. Nobody needs to change for you to vibrate high. No circumstance needs to adjust. You can choose to vibrate in love while others vibrate hate. You can choose peace while chaos happens around you. This conscious choice isn't emotional repression or denial of reality. It's vibrational maturity. It's recognizing that feeling natural emotions is human, but staying chronically stuck in them is a choice. Someone can feel momentary anger in the face of injustice, but choose not to live permanently vibrating anger. They can feel sadness in the face of loss, but choose not to make sadness their vibrational identity. The responsibility lies in not allowing low emotional states to become the habitual frequency, the baseline vibration of life. The universe responds to predominant vibration, not isolated moments. A person can have difficult days, moments of low frequency, but if most of the time they consciously choose to vibrate high, their life will reflect this predominant frequency. The secret lies in the discipline of always returning to the chosen vibration. Fell into anger? Breathe, give thanks, choose love again. Plunged into fear? Anchor in the present, activate gratitude, declare peace. This constant practice of vibrational correction builds impressive internal strength. The most revolutionary aspect of this responsibility is realizing that your vibration affects not only your own life, but the entire world around you. Each person functions as a frequency broadcasting station. Vibrating high elevates the collective energetic field. Vibrating low contributes to general density. People who take responsibility for their vibration understand they're serving the entire planet by consciously choosing elevated frequencies. They become beacons of light amid darkness, anchors of peace amid chaos. This realization completely transforms the purpose of elevating vibration. It's no longer about personal benefit, individual achievements, or egoic manifestation. It's about serving the evolution of collective consciousness. It's about adding more light to the world simply by choosing to vibrate high. And the paradox is that by doing this for the collective, individual life transforms radically. The universe conspires in favor of those who consciously vibrate at elevated frequencies, and all reality reorganizes itself to reflect this vibrational choice. Vibration isn't what happens to you, it's what you choose to emanate, and this choice changes absolutely everything. The technique is in your hands. 3 simple steps that can transform everything. But knowledge without application is just entertainment. So tell me in the comments, what vibration do you choose to emanate from now on? At which frequency do you want to live? Share your decision because declaring it publicly creates real commitment. And if you're truly committed to elevating your consciousness and transforming your reality, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. We have much more deep content about consciousness expansion, mystical practices, and real transformation tools coming. Don't miss the opportunity to continue this journey. Your vibration determines your destiny. Choose consciously. Choose now.